Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Pay attention to a woman's receptiveness. Pay attention to a woman's receptiveness. You know what? Here's the thing. When you talk about on a pure level what's masculine and what's feminine, especially sexually, a woman's in her true sexual nature is receptive, while the man is aggressive, assertive. The woman is staying still. And think about it. In order for a woman to get pregnant, she has to draw a man to her. He has to deposit his seed, and the seed has to go swim up and make contact with the egg. Now, because of that primal basis, women will naturally have personality traits that will draw a man to her. They are magnetic. The man is electric. And I want you to think about that. So when a woman is receptive, then she is open to talking to a man. And usually, but one of the things with just the society now, most women will be defensive to most men, with the exception now to most men. The men that they will be receptive to are the men that they consider select, who their personal select, who, you know, the men who match their imprint, the men they find attractive, however they define attractiveness. They will be receptive to that man. And of course you have, in particular, like most women to be defensive. Like if you say a woman wants a rich man. So when she's around rich men, she will be receptive. If she doesn't want a rich man, or she's around men she think are poor, she will be defensive. So and that's just an example. That's not saying they just want a man with money, but it's saying whatever the woman wants. If a woman is receptive only to a certain race of men, other men she will be defensive to. Like I was talking with a friend of mine, and she was telling me about some white guys trying to hit on her. Now, she's a sister. She just does not feel white guys, so she's defensive to them, but very receptive to certain brothers. And that's the whole thing. So they got their specific receptiveness, and then you have some women who are a bit more open. Because I've said this about the select, non-select thing. It actually varies woman to woman. So for one woman, she's only sees 10% of men as select. So that's who she's receptive to. But some women, they just generally receptive to a whole lot more men. You get some women who might be receptive to 70% of men. I personally know some women, they'll be receptive if the guy simply approaches. So it's different. Now, here's the key word: regardless where you stand. How receptive is that woman? Now, the thing is, you have to pay attention to the receptiveness. You have to pay attention. Like how's she walking? Like if a woman's walking generally slow, peaceful, calm, real pleasant, she's generally receptive. Then let me be clear, there's no hard and fast rules. Some people try to approach this like they are scientists, or it's like some 1, 2, 3. It don't work that way. So it's always general. Let me be clear about that. But all right, so if she's walking slow, first of all, if a woman's walking slow and leisurely, she's generally receptive. Generally. Like if you approach her in a calm manner, she'll probably talk to you and everything. And especially if there's a situation, like here's one, like say you walking down the street and you walking behind a woman. Now she's walking all hard and stuff. She glances back and see. All of a sudden she starts slowing down. She's receptive. Or if a woman puts herself in your vicinity, like you're in a grocery store just shopping and a woman casually comes over to where you at. She can be receptive, but then just pay attention. How close is she coming? How calm is she? Like that's the thing. The more passive a woman is, the more receptive. She's open. She's opening the door. That's when she's using her magnetism. She's trying to draw you to her. But then say the woman, same thing in a store, but she's like boom, straight to the point and whatever. Or if a woman is walking and she happens to look back and see you, and she actually speeds up. She's defensive. Like if you ever notice, pay attention like just to body language. How hard is it? Does she look like she ready to snap? Is she smiling? Or at least has a pleasant look? Defensive. Is she like real calm and everything? Receptive. And even when you talking to her, like say you approach her anyway and she's just polite enough to stop. How is she looking at you while y'all talking? Is she looking you in the eye? Is she like, how close is she standing? That's very important. Like if she's standing within like kind of close to you, looking at you, and especially with the front of her body pointed towards you, generally receptive. Generally. Like I said, there's no hard fast rules. She could just be like that with every guy. But if she's like, say she's standing close to you, not even close to you, you trying to talk to her and she ain't really looking at you, or she's just, she's like, all that, or even with her arms folded and it's not a cold day, that's generally defensive, generally. Now, with all of this, there's no fast rules. And here's a general thing. How is she moving? How is she looking? Also, her tone of voice. Tone of voice. Like if you talking to her and there's no sweetness in her voice. It's almost like she's conducting a business transaction. Like she's just in a store or something and just saying, yeah, all that. Generally defensive. But if she's kind of a softer voice, softer tone, almost has a melody to how she's speaking, and receptive. And see, that's the thing. See, I'm gonna tell you what. Men have to understand that. You see, even if I don't care if you say choose. Well, first of all, with choosing signals, a lot of guys don't really get that point. Signals don't mean anything. Like here's one, like smiling. People will say generally a smile, but how is she smiling? Is she one of those quick smiles? Like, that's more of a defensive smile. That's defensive. She's smiling kind of to, automatic. And I don't know for sure on this one. That's why if I use the word I don't know for sure. But I think women probably evolved that, particularly white women. Evolved that just to keep the men at bay, to calm him down. But she could do this like to the sides like this, and her face, like if any woman, if she smiles and she could do this, but then her eyes don't kind of light up like a smiling eyes, or her face still look hard, defensive. She's just doing it just to slow you down, but if she smile and the sides kind of go up, and then her eyes kind of like don't have that strained look, it is pretty receptive. Now, like I said, this is all general. Now, this is tough. This is tough for a lot of guys, because see, a big problem with a lot of men don't pay enough attention to women to really see what's going on with them. A lot of men aren't present with women. They ain't in the moment. They just thinking, oh, she fine and everything. And then they mess up. Because you always have to pay attention. Even if you approach her, what's her reaction? What's her reaction to you? How's she standing? How's she pointing towards you? What's her tone of voice? And indeed, part of her receptiveness is how much is she talking? Are you the only one doing the talking? She's just like, yeah, all of that. She's not interested. Women talk more than men. Because if a woman is comfortable in feeling you, she'll want to talk. She'll be throwing out the stuff for the conversation. Like even I've told guys to say hi to, practice saying hi to at least 3 women a day. Many women, if they have time and they feel that you're attractive, they might be the one to keep on the conversation. Many of them. That's another sign of receptiveness. If a woman talks to you with a certain tone of voice, and she talks to you a certain tone of voice, body language, everything. You look at all of that. Now, here's the thing. I know some guys will want, like, well, can you show us some shows? So stop. Go out and engage women and pay attention every time. See, I'm gonna tell you something now. Let me just go on a tangent. Too many guys, they want all the information, but they don't want to go out and do it. Just go out, interact. Every single time you interact with a woman, pay attention. Because for everything I'm saying, it still can vary how, like one man, oh yeah, every single woman he talked to is going to be receptive. For another man, most of the women are going to be defensive. So you guys see what you have to do every time you interact with a woman. Pay attention to everything. How's she looking at you? How close she's standing? How's her body pointing towards you? What's her tone of voice? And then you'll know, it's okay, maybe I need to change some stuff up. Because you got to learn this for yourself. Because that's the problem I'm seeing. A lot of guys, they will watch these videos, and not just mine, but other people's, but then they don't really apply the information. Apply it. Just go out. You got to figure it out. You got to see for yourself. Like, you know, people use that, the analogy of the red pill. Well, one thing in the original movie, Neo, they said, we can't tell you about the Matrix. We got to show it to you. But see, a lot of people don't really want to see it. Now, if you want to know, like, how, you got to pay attention. Like, think about all the women that you've dated, gone out with, rejected. Especially the women you had sex with. What was their body language towards you when you first met? What was their tone of voice? Now, unless you just haven't, only men who should complain is a men who just haven't got with the woman, period. But then if that's the case, there's some other issues that go beyond what I can help with. But if you've dealt with women at all, start there. If you had sex with one woman, okay, what was she doing? What was her body language? Now, if you had sex with two, or you dated, I say at a minimum, any woman you've at least gone on a date with, start there. Now, one date, you could have gone just more, had a good hug, kiss, sex. What was their receptiveness? Learn from each encounter. All right. So anyway, that's all I have for today. Y'all got y'all assignment. Y'all got to get out there and interact and learn. All right. So I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.